Nestled amidst the towering redwoods of Northern California, where the air is crisp and the forest floor is carpeted with a lush blanket of ferns and moss, the serene sanctuary retreat promised tranquility and a chance to reconnect with oneself. It was November 12, 2024. A crisp chill hung in the air, a stark contrast to the warmth radiating from the luxurious cabins. Guests, each successful in their own right, were drawn to the promise of rejuvenation. Among them was Daniela Hart, a renowned finance executive seeking respite from the cutthroat world of Wall Street. Daniela, used to the cold efficiency of skyscrapers, found herself captivated by the rustic charm of the retreat. The scent of pine needles, the gentle murmur of the river nearby, it was a far cry from her usual life. Yet a sense of unease lingered beneath the surface. The retreat's charismatic leader, Silas Vance, seemed to hold an almost hypnotic sway over the guests, including Daniela. His teachings, a blend of Eastern mysticism and Western self-help, resonated deeply, but something felt off. As days turned into weeks, Daniela found herself drawn deeper into the retreat's rhythm. Yoga at dawn, followed by Silas's soul-stirring talks, then evenings spent in quiet reflection. It was a world away from the frenetic pace of her life in New York City. But the silence of the redwoods held secrets. Whispers carried on the wind that hinted at something sinister lurking beneath the surface of serene sanctuary. The retreat was not just a place of physical beauty but also a sanctuary for the soul. The cabins, with their rustic yet luxurious interiors, provided a perfect blend of comfort and nature. Each morning the guests would wake to the sound of birdsong and the gentle rustling of leaves, a stark contrast to the blaring alarms and honking horns of city life. The days were structured yet flexible, allowing each guest to find their own path to wellness. Some chose to immerse themselves in the various workshops offered, ranging from mindfulness meditation to creative writing, while others preferred solitary walks through the forest, finding peace in the quiet solitude. Daniela, in particular, found solace in the early morning yoga sessions. The practice, set against the backdrop of the rising sun and the serene forest, became a ritual she looked forward to. Silas's talks, though captivating, began to raise questions in her mind. His words were powerful, almost too powerful, and she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to him than met the eye. The other guests seemed entranced by his charisma, hanging on his every word, but Daniela's instincts told her to be cautious. As the days passed, Daniela started to notice subtle changes in the behavior of the other guests. They seemed more subdued, more compliant, as if they were under some kind of spell. The once lively conversations around the dinner table became more muted, and the laughter that had filled the air upon their arrival was now a rare sound. Daniela couldn't help but feel that something was amiss. The retreat, which had initially seemed like a haven, now felt like a gilded cage. The beauty of the surroundings and the tranquility of the setting were undeniable, but beneath the surface there was an undercurrent of tension, a sense of foreboding that Daniela couldn't ignore. She knew she had to uncover the truth about Silas and the serene sanctuary before it was too late. On the morning of December 1st, a chill settled over the retreat that had nothing to do with the weather. The air was thick with an unspoken tension, a sense of foreboding that seemed to seep into the very walls of the retreat center. Silas Vance, the enigmatic leader, had vanished. Known for his charismatic presence and profound teachings, Silas was the heart and soul of Serene Sanctuary. His cabin, usually a hub of activity, stood eerily empty. The door was ajar, and the silence inside was deafening, a stark contrast to the usual hum of meditative chants and soft conversations. At first, whispers of a silent retreat, a sudden pilgrimage circulated among the guests. Some believed he had gone on a spiritual journey, a quest for deeper enlightenment. But as hours turned into a day, panic began to set in. The serene atmosphere was replaced by a growing sense of unease, as the reality of his absence began to sink in. Daniela, her instincts honed from years in the financial world, sensed something was amiss. Her sharp mind quickly pieced together the inconsistencies, the subtle signs that all was not as it seemed. News of Silas's disappearance coincided with another chilling discovery. Millions of dollars were missing from the retreat's accounts. The financial records, once meticulously maintained, now showed alarming discrepancies. The funds, donations from the retreat's wealthy clientele, had vanished without a trace. These were not just any donations, they were substantial contributions meant to support the retreat's mission and operations. The idyllic facade of Serene Sanctuary began to crumble. replaced by suspicion and fear. The once peaceful haven now felt like a trap, with everyone questioning the motives of those around them. Guests, once drawn together by their shared search for inner peace, now eyed each other with distrust. The sense of community was shattered, replaced by a pervasive sense of paranoia. The police descended upon the retreat, their presence a stark reminder of the real world that had seemed so distant just days ago. The serene environment was now a crime scene, with officers combing through every detail. Detectives swarmed the grounds, their questions sharp and probing. They left no stone unturned, determined to uncover the truth behind Silas's disappearance and the missing funds. Daniela, with her keen eye for detail and understanding of financial intricacies, found herself at the center of the investigation. Her expertise was invaluable, as she meticulously reviewed the financial records. Her analytical mind, accustomed to deciphering complex market trends, now focused on unraveling the mystery of the missing guru and the vanished millions. She knew that the answers lay hidden in the numbers, and she was determined to find them. The serenity of Serene Sanctuary was shattered, replaced by a cacophony of speculation. What was once a haven of peace and tranquility had now become a hotbed of gossip and intrigue. The air, once filled with the soothing sounds of nature and meditative chants, now buzzed with hushed conversations and furtive glances. Rumors swirled among the guests and staff. Whispers of betrayal, secrets, and hidden agendas spread like wildfire, igniting imaginations and fueling suspicions. The once harmonious community was now divided, each person wary of the other, each conversation tinged with doubt. Some whispered of Silas's secret past, hinting at a darkness that lurked beneath his charismatic facade. They spoke of a man who had reinvented himself, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and unresolved mysteries. His enigmatic presence, once a source of inspiration, now cast a long shadow over the sanctuary. Others spoke of disgruntled employees, seeking revenge for perceived injustices. Tales of mistreatment and exploitation began to surface, painting a picture of a leader who had lost touch with the very principles he preached. The staff, once loyal and dedicated, now harbored resentment and anger. Each whisper, each shared glance added another layer to the mystery. The sanctuary, once a place of healing and growth, had become a labyrinth of secrets and lies. The tension was palpable, the sense of unease growing with each passing day. Daniela, determined to uncover the truth, immersed herself in the investigation. She was relentless, driven by a need to understand the forces at play. Her days were spent sifting through documents, her nights consumed by thoughts of what she might uncover. She meticulously reviewed financial records, her fingers dancing across the keyboard as she pieced together the puzzle of the missing funds. Each transaction, each entry, was a potential clue, a piece of the larger picture she was determined to complete. The police, initially dismissive of her involvement, soon recognized her sharp intellect and financial acumen. They began to see her not just as a concerned citizen, but as a valuable asset in their investigation. Her insights were sharp, her deductions precise. She became their unofficial consultant, her insight proving invaluable as they navigated the labyrinthine world of offshore accounts and shell corporations. Her knowledge of financial systems and her ability to connect the dots were crucial in unraveling the complex web of deceit. Days turned into weeks, the investigation leading down a series of dead ends. Each new lead seemed promising, only to dissolve into another frustrating dead end. The passage of time weighed heavily on Daniela, but she remained undeterred. Frustration mounted, yet Daniela refused to give up. Her determination was unwavering, her resolve unbreakable. She knew that the truth was out there, hidden beneath layers of deception and misdirection. She spent her nights poring over Silas's teachings, searching for clues within his words. Each passage, each sermon, was scrutinized for hidden meanings and subtle hints. She believed that somewhere within his teachings lay the key to understanding his true intentions. His pronouncements on detachment, on freeing oneself from material possessions, now seemed to hold a chilling double meaning. What once sounded like spiritual guidance now appeared to be a veiled reference to his own actions and schemes. Had Silas, under the guise of spiritual enlightenment, been orchestrating a grand financial scheme all along? The question loomed large, casting a shadow over everything Daniela had once believed. The truth, she realized, was far more complex and sinister than she had ever imagined.
To the channel where mystery meets obsession. I break down chilling cases, shocking twists, and unsolved stories you won't stop thinking about. Disclaimer: the crime stories shared on this channel are fictional and created purely for entertainment purposes. Viewer discretion is advised, as the themes may still include sensitive or suspenseful content. Watch as I bring you thrilling tales well. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss an upload.